I'm doing a podcast. Gear up, Scooter fam. So today I did a podcast with the Average Guy 1983 and Tiger GRM Tac. I'll put links to their channels in the description of this video so you guys can go follow their channels if you haven't already. This is something that I wanted to do on the channel to kind of change it up to get different kind of content to put on here for you guys, and so was able to put this together. If any of you guys are interested in possibly jumping on a video like this in the future, hit me up in the comments. What you should do is reach out to me, right? So my email is in my profile, for this channel. So please reach out to me through that email. You can also follow me on Instagram, and that's how Tiger was able to get a hold of me. If you follow me on Instagram, you can DM me there. And so I have a channel. I don't have a lot going on there yet. I haven't been spending most of my time making videos, and so I haven't really done much with my Instagram channel. But it's the same Electric Scooter Guy with underscores between electric and scooter guy. So in any case, yeah. So just hash it lowercase underscores, or rather between the words, but it's Electric Scooter Guy. You'll see my logo on there as well, so you'll know it's me. But you can get me on there. You can DM me, and we can have a quicker conversation, or you can email me at the email in my profile. So once again, if you're interested in doing something like this, reach out to me, and we'll see what we can figure out. All right, let's get into the video.
First of all, thank you guys for setting up this meeting and getting everybody here. Electric Scooter Guy, the Average Guy. I watch you guys like crazy, so this is gonna be an amazing time, and hopefully very educational and helps a lot of people out.
Yeah,
Thank you.
hopefully. All right, cool. So, what should we get started with?
I would really like to know the experience you're having with the Dualtron, the Limited.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. So, I've been riding it for about maybe 20 miles so far, so it's pretty new to me. I do like it. The only thing is that I'm not a big fan of the square wave controllers. The main reason why is because it's either like 100% power. Let me take these headphones off real quick. It's because for some reason there's like a 1 second delay on my end on the audio. So it sounds weird. But one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of the square wave controller is because you either get 100% power, like full throttle, or zero power. So even if you barely tap the little trigger, it automatically wants to go. But it does have a lot of power though, that's for sure. It's very heavy. It's a little difficult to steer around with the steering damper, but if you don't have the steering damper set up almost close to its maximum level, you will get speed wobbles, and it's kind of scary. Um, let's see what else. The way you have to stand on it is kind of weird because they made the deck wide because of the big battery, but it's not really that long. So to compensate for the length of the deck, they put these little steps that go upwards, like in the curve that goes like this, and you're supposed to rest your foot there. But when you do that and you put your other foot on the front, you kind of lose a little bit of stability, and that's what ends up causing the speed wobble. So if you're not standing right, you know, comfortably on the scooter, you could end up experiencing it. So other than that, I mean, it seems to be working pretty good. It has like I took it out for like 20 miles and I still had like all of the I what was it like 95% battery life. So it's a
Wow,
huge freaking battery. I have
wow.
a feeling that that thing's gonna like give me a ton of range, and I'm most likely gonna have to do a range test video on that one too, like I did with the RS, and see how much it gives. Because on the RS I got 60, but that was going like 19 miles an hour, so pretty slow, almost like eco mode. So on this one, I'm curious to see what it will do, but it seems to be pretty cool for
Ha,
the most part, though. I do like it.
ha, ha, have you tried to test the top speed on it yet?
That I haven't. I know it's supposed to top out at about 65 or so, but
Yeah.
I haven't tried it out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, because normally, dude, I like to go like 40 or 45 max. So
Yeah, yeah,
going above
Uh,
like 45, dude, is some pretty scary stuff.
I know.
yeah. I'm surprised that it has stability issues. I know you made one of the most important videos about how to fix the stability issue with the RS. That like I have seen other reviewers or the like put it up and actually commend you because a lot of people were experiencing that issue. So I'm kind of surprised that Dualtron is actually experiencing that with the limited. Uh, is this the 2024 version or like they're older or something like that? Do you even
I
know? Because like, yeah, go
I
ahead.
think is 22 or 23. I'm not 100% sure. Uh, I'm not 100% sure, and the main reason why is because I got it from a friend, and the crazy part is that he came over from Florida to visit, and he's part of the RS group. So to see him come over here and then buy a Duotron like within a day of him arriving was pretty crazy. So
Yeah.
he got it used, but almost in new condition. So it only had like 50 miles on the odometer.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
not sure what year it is, if it's a 23 or 22. I highly doubt
Well,
it's a 24.
Well, the only reason I asked is because they're updating all their lineup right now.
Yeah.
They did the Dualtron 2 update that I heard about. The Thunder 2, the Thunder 3, and I think they might go up the chart after that. But so far, I know they're doing updates, but they're not the only company that are doing it. I know there's gonna be a 2025 version of the RS to fix the stability issues with it, and I think maybe I think it was the brake or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was the
The rear
brake.
brake was.
Yeah, the rear brake issue, which it's kind of a common thing, and then also the steering damper. I'm not sure how they're gonna change it, but I mean, I gave them ideas when I made the damper myself, like the modified, but it's up to them what they want to do because on their first gen one, or technically their beta sample, they had the same design of the little brick, but it was made out of solid rubber. And the problem with it was that it would make like squeaking sounds if you tighten it too much. But then if you don't tighten it enough, it ends up having speed wobbles above 40. So I don't know. Hopefully they fix that issue or maybe put an external steering damper. The only thing I see bad about the external steering dampers is that you have like a turning range limitation. So like for example on that Duotron, since it's on the left side, when I make a left turn, it doesn't make a full turn. So it's like maybe 70% of a turning ratio versus 100% going to the right because the right side doesn't have one. But
You,
we'll
you,
see how it
you, you
goes because I know that they're renaming the RS as well. I think they're calling it a V9 or something like that. It's weird.
Wow.
I don't know why they're renaming it.
uh,
Maybe they're
that's
trying to get
weird.
away from the reputation because I mean, people love the scooter, but everyone's had to like fix stuff just about that I've seen. I haven't seen too many people once they've had it for a period of time not have any issues at all. So
Yeah, at least within the first couple 100 miles, you end up having to do something already to it, which is
exactly.
surprising because I have a Segway GT1 and I haven't had to do any maintenance on that thing, not even the brakes. Like that thing is so
Wow.
solid, it's just slow. Like it goes about 34 miles an hour, but because it only has a single motor, the torque is not strong enough to get you going quick. But once you're up to speed, it stays there.
Gotcha.
But it's a really good scooter too, though. Like it's very well built.
I haven't been into scooters that long, probably about 6 months, and I started with just a Hover One Journey Max, and I've only ridden dual motor scooters, and I have a Klima now, but yeah, so I've never even well, my neighbor let me jump on his before I ever had a scooter that was like a single motor, but I didn't even really try to do anything on it. Just, I didn't even know, I just kind of jumped off. Like, okay, thanks. And I went and got the Journey Max. But so I have like pretty much zero experience with single motor scooters. And I there's no way I could spend money on one myself right now at this point without knowing that it would perform to the same level. Even the Journey Max has decent, like, torque and takeoffs because it's the dual motor. I mean, it's a cheap scooter, but it moves pretty well.
Yeah.
I feel as though the 2025 lineup, we have just so many things coming out, especially with now that the CES show just happened, and we got to see a little bit of what's coming out, especially with the new Bora Motors, the new Emotion RS that we heard about. We got also the new Teva Run. Also, it's just so many things that are coming out that we're hoping to see if they fix those issues that they've been running into. I don't know which one you guys are most excited about. Which one are you guys are looking for? Because I like the Bora Motors one. That all white one, that dual stem one is like,
that's the one I'm
that's
excited
like,
about too.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's an incredible looking machine, man.
And they said it's going to be possibly under $4,000. So I actually commented, I said, whatever you got to do to keep this scooter under $4,000, that's what you got to do. And that was my opinion. But yeah,
It's good because I got some specs from Melvin, and he was telling me that it's supposed to have dual 3,000 watt motors that peak at 6,000 each. So total 12,000 watts, like peak power.
Wow.
So it's crazy because the RS that I have, now that it has those 60 amp sine wave controllers, it does 10,000 watts, which is why you can reach like 63 to 65 miles an hour, which is insane.
Wow.
The battery, he told me that it's supposed to be 72 volts, 50 amp hours, but they could always change it. But he is trying to keep the price decent, like so people would actually buy it.
Exactly. That's what I feel like they don't have a good scooter in that range. You go from
No, not really.
the Cruiser V2 up to the Roadster. It's such a big jump.
Expensive.
Yeah, so I'm not even interested in approaching that one.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the roaster.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it. That's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I see it in person and it's nice, but like, I feel that for its price that they're asking, they should have like added more safety features. Like, I feel like having front turn signals on the scooter would be a good idea. So like even the Roadrunner Pro that I have, I had to like modify that thing just to make sure that it has like the front turn signals, appropriate rear turn signals, and a better brake light. Because the one that comes with its stock, it just flashes off and on, so it doesn't get brighter, it doesn't get darker, nothing. It's like a blinking light. So here in LA, they're pretty strict about that, about having like good tail lights and turn signals. So that's probably why I haven't been pulled over on that thing, because I pass by police all the time and I've never gotten pulled over like other people have claimed they have, at least online or social media. But it would be nice to see that. But it seems like eMove has a habit of just doing that, like cutting corners.
Oh, really?
Just with pretty much just with like the lights. I've heard a lot of people already that when they looked at that, I think it's called the STX, but it's basically Project Daytona, the white scooter.
Sure.
But they put like a solid tail light, and the turn signals are built into it. But when you turn the turn signals on, they blend in with the red light, so you can't really see them if you have the brake on.
Oh yeah,
But
gotcha.
try to separate them, and
Gotcha.
they haven't done that. So they did that with the Roadster as well.
Gotcha.
I wonder if they do that to lower the cost.
That's what I'm thinking. But I mean, if they give
Yeah.
you updates or at least the chance to be able to upgrade to something different, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, in case somebody really does want to do that. But hopefully they keep it under 4. That'd be really
I
cool.
really think they need, just from from a marketing standpoint, they need a $4,000 scooter. They don't compete in that in that segment of the market. So I think it's smart on their part, and it's a big segment. $4,000. I mean, a lot of people are looking for that level of a scooter. So
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why the Roadster hasn't really been sold, because it's like priced at 57.95 or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's almost six.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
That's a lot for a scooter. Not a lot of people can reach that.
yeah. No
Yeah.
kidding.
So I feel that if they were to make a 4K scooter, I think they would sell more. Like that's one of the reasons why they decided to make a Cruiser V2, but with the dual motors, and they're doing a
Hmm.
60-volt version
Yeah,
to get
I'm pretty
power.
excited about that. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
one.
it's basically the same size as the Cruiser V2, but it just has an added motor, slightly bigger battery, and it has full hydraulic brakes. So
Yeah,
it's really
yeah, really nice. The only thing that was interesting to me was because I've been tracking it, and I thought they were going to come out with a dual motor at the same time as they released a single motor. Like they were going to
that's
have
what I
two
meant.
different versions, right? And then they only had the 52-volt single motor, and so I was like, okay, so if they come out with a dual motor, but it's still a 52-volt system, you're going to lose some performance, you know.
Yeah,
And so I was thinking, I don't really know if I like that, you know what I mean? So then they come out with a 60-volt version. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they have an upgrade, but the difference between the two are $500, and you can upgrade your 52-volt system, but it doesn't change it to a 60-volt system. So you're still, I was like,
52 volts, but you're probably going to have just better acceleration and hill climb,
oh,
but you're going to
absolutely,
lose range.
exactly. That's my point. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
You're gonna get
So I'm
better.
I
glad
think
they
that's
made the 60 volt, but they should have released it at the same time.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's the main thing right now that everybody's looking for is the range. Because charging the scooter sometimes depending on what you got, you need like double chargers and stuff like that. It takes a
Yeah.
long time, you know, and that's an issue that we all run into. And I think Vorro Motors is doing it right with this Project Daytona,
Yeah,
with the dual
absolutely.
stem. I know they're coming out with that, and G Space is also coming out with the Mars 12. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I haven't,
They
but
improved on the battery.
okay.
Yeah, they improved on the battery, the braking, and also the tri- uh, the trigger for um the throttle. They improved on it also. So
Nice.
for the Mars 12, and I think we're gonna have a lot of competition in that price range for 3,000 or 4,000 this year. So it's gonna be pretty dope to see. Also, Tevra Run is coming out with the 2025 model. I know they were having stability issues around 55 miles per hour, but supposedly
Yeah.
they resolved that issue. Uh,
Yeah, I'm hoping they did because on that one, it was the 7260R model. It's the one with the 13-inch like tires. And
yes.
I'm thinking the problem is the size of the tires. That I guess is because they're also 5 inches wide. It's kind of causing stability issues. So that's one thing that I am a little bit concerned about that Project Daytona because the tires are 13-inch and they look identical to the ones that are on the Dualtron X Limited. So I'm
Mm,
a little concerned about that, but I'm hoping that it has good stability. That's one of the reasons why Melvin said about doing a dual like stem or like a fork design to
Yep.
kind of have
mhm.
better stability, like the GTR.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Um,
I'm not sure. Hopefully it works out. I'm hoping I can test it out as well. I'm not sure if the one that they showed at CES was just like a beta model,
Right.
but I'm hoping I can test it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be waiting till it comes out. I'll be looking at a scooter. I mean, possibly. I'm considering getting another scooter in the spring, possibly. And so I don't want to wait forever. But not, this one, he says it's going to be under 4,000. I'm seriously, thinking about holding out until it comes out to try to get it. I love the stability. Like any scooter that has like super stability, I think is the key. Like I don't want to have to use a steering damper. I still
Yeah.
want the agility of to be able to maneuver the scooter, and then at the same time have it be stable at decent speeds. Even though I don't go that fast most of the time, but you still want if you do the scooter not to get speed wobbles.
Yeah, see, that's one of the
um,
reasons why InMotion did that with their steering damper on the design of their RS, because they categorized it as a racing scooter. So it can't be a racing
mm,
scooter if it doesn't have a good turning ratio. That's number
Exactly.
one.
Exactly.
And the fact that they made it with an adjustable deck height was really cool. So it has 4 levels you can adjust it to. And then the same thing with the handlebar stem. You can adjust it higher or lower. Like that's freaking genius, man, the way they came up with it. So I'm hoping that this STR or STX, well, Project Daytona, we'll just call it that for now, that it actually
Mhm.
has good stability with the way it is, like being designed.
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's super stable, and that's one of the most important things. When I got the Klima, um, no one that I know has to put a steering damper on the Klima. So I mean, it only goes like 42, but I'm coming from the Journey Max, so that's a big step up. I haven't hit 42 on it yet. I haven't even hit 42. So
Yeah.
I think that dual stem is the way to go right now for stability wise. I know some people still have the single and stuff like that, and they put steering dampeners, but I don't know why. I think just dual is like that's the future. That's where we need to go just for stability. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100%. I think it would be a good idea to have it like that. I haven't heard
Mhm.
people have much like speed wobble issues with the Wolf King like design since they have like that dual stem thing. But I'm hoping that other scooter manufacturers like start changing the design. I know sorry, not GT. Segway came out with the GT3, and that's basically replacing the GT1, and then they have the GT3 Pro, which is replacing the GT2. So it's more power, bigger battery, and it seems to be pretty stable. There were a lot of people that were like complaining about the GT2 and GT1 being heavy, but they wanted more power and they wanted a bigger battery. So Segway basically did that. They brought in the GT3 and the GT3 Pro. They made the frame a little bit slimmer. They put a bigger battery and they put more powerful motors on it. So
I saw that.
it works.
I saw that, but when I look at the specs, it doesn't really translate. I mean, it goes about 5 miles an hour faster, and the range is the same. So
Yeah, it's kind of
I was
weird.
like, okay, how what? Why go to? I mean, they went up 2 steps in the battery size, right? They went from 52 to 72 instead of just getting 60, and then I would really think that would add to the range. I mean, I'm thinking maybe there's just some weird testing going on because you seriously should get something out of jumping 2 steps up like that to that much bigger of a battery.
Yeah, because I know that there's a guy that goes by the name Keezy E-Wheels on
Yes.
YouTube, and
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
the
yeah.
very first guy to test out the ST2 Pro, which technically I think was probably a code name for the GT3 Pro. And he was able to take it like above 50 miles an hour. So it was impressive and it basically looks the same. There's some minor cosmetic changes. They put like that X light in the front and they gave it like a red and charcoal gray theme, which looks really nice. So, but I feel like it's basically the same scooter. And he got to test it out and he liked it, but he straight up said that, like, quality wise, how he felt it, he wouldn't basically sell his GT2 for a GT3. So he probably would buy the GT3, but like the Pro version, but not get rid of his Segway GT2.
That's exactly what I thought. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. I really liked the look, but the way they built it, and I think that they did this for portability. They gave up on stability, and I feel like just looking at them, even though they weigh close to the same, the way they're designed, looks like the GT2 is much more stable than the GT2. GT1, whatever, GT3 Pro, yeah. So it just looks, yeah, I can't keep up.
So many
Yeah,
Too
yeah,
many GTs, man.
GTs.
Got the GT1, the GT2, the
yeah,
GT3, which only does like 31 miles an hour, and then you have the GT3 Pro that goes up to like 54. But
yeah.
it's weird. It I don't know why they just didn't name it like a GT3 and a GT4 or separate them. Do that ST line for like the 31 miles per hour thing, and then the GT3 with the 54 miles per hour thing. So I don't know. It's just segue in their weird marketing.
I wish they would carry more than one dual motor scooter at different levels. Like I wish they would have the ZT3 Pro dual motor version of that scooter. I think that would actually be a pretty cool scooter if it were dual motor. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I'm not really into single motor, so anywhere I'm really like paying a lot of attention. It's usually to dual motors myself.
Well, yeah, same here. Because I was also looking at their what's this one called? It's called the Segway Ninebot Max G3 because I have a G2.
Yep.
And this one is supposed to have uh up to 2000 watts max, and it has 1200 watts nominal. So it's going to go a little bit faster. I think they said it tops out at 28 miles an hour. So I think it's like a competitor with the Apollo, what's this one called? It's the Apollo Go, I think, because that one goes up to 27 miles an hour. Oh, and
Yeah.
it looks like we are running out of time on our
Oh wow, already?
That's short.
yeah, it's saying
That was
running out of
short.
time. Yeah,
That was short.
it says upgrade to Zoom Workplace.
We
Pro
could
and
since we're editing, we could always come back on and run it again. It's only per session, right? So I mean, we could come back
yeah,
and
it
do a.
says here 9 minutes and 23 seconds left.
So
before it cuts us off.
we can continue to roll, and then if we want to wrap it up or continue on with our conversations at that point, we can just jump back on and then edit it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
As we got a couple of other scooters to talk about too. as
Yeah.
well. And then especially Cabo with the battery fire stuff. And then also like getting dropped from dealers. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I heard so many rumors
Really good to talk
going.
about. Yeah, I heard a lot of rumors, and I don't know which one is true because I've been looking online to see if I could find a GTR. Not that I want to buy one, but like just to see what everyone else is talking about. And the only place that I see it on is either CaboUSA.com, which I don't even know where they're located, if they even have a legit office or not.
They took them
Or if
off
their
too.
stuff just ships from China.
They took
And
them off
then
too.
Boro Motors has a used one, like a refurbished.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So Fluid Free Rides doesn't pop up. What's the other guy's Alien Rides is not popping up as a seller. And even like who else? I think some bike place in New York that also isn't popping up anymore. So I'm not sure if everyone's dropping them or what's going on with that.
They had to drop the name Wolf from their scooters. So even
Oh, I remember
Yeah, they got a
hearing
lawsuit
about that.
because of the wolf.
yeah, so
Yeah.
on the Cabo site, even now, you can go in there, but you can't actually order any because they say they're out of stock and they're getting, pretty much they have to remove all that badging off their current scooters. And then they're only going to call it the GTR, not the Wolf King GTR. It'll just be like the King GTR or whatever.
Yeah.
Suppose there's a company in Florida that makes gas powered scooters that call themselves Wolf scooters. And so
Oh,
that was the issue.
Yeah, but
I see what's going
if Cabo is having a fire issue with the GTR, then I understand why they're not selling as much, or like they don't really want to produce them in the USA, because I know they were having also issues on top of the fire, repairing. To get parts for it was
yeah, it was
difficult
really
too.
tough. Yeah, that
Yeah.
and also the locking mechanism kept breaking on the battery for the GTR. So even though you had something to lock it, like the latch would break. So then if you go over some kind of bump or something, the battery can lift up a little bit, which
Wow.
that was pretty concerning.
Yeah, no kidding.
So good
So
idea
it was
that
having
they
frame
decided
issues
to
too.
What was that?
It was having frame issues also.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's like concerning, because they seem like nice people. I got to see them over at Rider Fest here in Cali, and they seem really nice and everything, but just the manufacturing part needs to be improved on the GTR.
They
That's why a lot of people still go for the GT Pro.
they're pretty reputable too. I mean, everybody loves their Cabos for the most
Yeah.
part, So I was kind of surprised to hear about all these problems with the GTR because it seems like they've gotten it right so many times, previously. So it was kind of surprised to me.
Yeah, that's very surprising. So I don't know if anybody else has had any issues, but I think even Yogi Steve, who had a GTR, he sold it. I mean, sorry, he sold it, and he kept the RS because he really likes that one. He writes that one a lot more for his door dashing stuff. And then I'm not sure what other one he says because he hasn't talked to me much about what he has and what he doesn't have. But I kind of figured he would sell some of them because that would be like a giant fleet of like scooters.
Well,
Too big to have.
I know he said he sold some of his Cabos. I don't remember if it was the Mantis or the GTR
Yeah, I'm not sure which
because
one.
Voro dropped Cabo, so he's not
Yeah,
going to promote them anymore.
yeah, because you can't repair them that much anyways. Because like trying to get parts is going to be very difficult. And then obviously he's a partner of Voro Motors,
Right.
and he was basically helping sell the GTR and the GT Pro at the time.
Yep.
So if they're not going to be selling it anymore, there is no point.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. A scooter that I want to talk to you about that we don't really talk about is the Roadrunner, the RX-7. What's going on with
Yes,
that?
RX-7 is pretty nice. I actually was interested in it, but then I started seeing issues with their luminance panel
Yeah.
lighting.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
one guy by I think his name was Nabi Cook or something like that on
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
He
Yeah, oh,
reported
yeah.
like all kinds of issues, man. And then the company was trying to like shut him up and like say that he was like from like a different scooter manufacturer just trying to knock down like Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that wasn't cool.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Roadrunner also has a lawsuit right now against Vora Motors for the name Roadrunner, for the Emu Roadrunner Pro and the V3, including the V2.
That's interesting.
So yeah,
Oh
so
wow, we didn't know
Melvin
about
talked to
that.
me about it. Yeah, so that's another thing that going on right now with Voro. So I'm not sure if they already solved that issue because they talked to me about that like I'm gonna say 3 months ago.
Okay.
But it was surprising when I found that out.
I've heard so many people. I've heard someone say something about that, like they didn't like that Voro took that name when Roadrunner was already a brand, and I haven't been following them long enough to know who came first. So,
Yeah, neither have I.
like I'm not sure who's gonna win on that one. But yeah, I saw some stuff on that, and then supposedly now they've replaced those panels with Road Glow panels, and they're
Yes.
actually
Yes.
they're actually detachable. So if you do have a problem, which supposedly it's supposed to be much less likely to have a problem, but you can just easily switch them out by an easy disconnect cable, and otherwise they ran them straight into the battery, and you had to disconnect them and do all this stuff on the old ones.
Yeah,
So
that's
my understanding is their new shipment of scooters that they have the new lighting also has the new screen with it also.
yeah, the new one has the new screen. And that's another thing. There's a lot of adopters of the RX-7 that are disappointed that they still haven't gotten a lot of the things that they were promised. Especially the screen they were promised. They got something really cheap looking
Yep.
just to kind of get them
Hmm.
going. And even that Nabico guy, he replaced the display with something different. It's almost like it's not even an RX-7 anymore.
Oh
Because he
yeah.
changed a bunch of things. He added like aftermarket parts. So it's not the same. So it doesn't have the same display. I don't even think it has the same motors. It's just the frame.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So it's pretty nuts, man. Yeah. They pretty much let that dude down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No kidding.
he had water going inside the scooter, and it's supposed to be IP67
Yeah.
rating, and he had water inside the
Yeah,
cables or
something like
something like
that.
that. I was like surprised. I'm like, wait a minute, you're paying really high price for this scooter. Why does it have so many issues with it? You know, and I know he's not the only one that had problems with it. There was another YouTuber also that said that he was running into some issues also, and I was just there like, what's going on? Are you guys gonna give us like some info about you guys upgrading or probably helping people out? And from my understanding was one guy, he tried to like get like some warranty, and they were basically saying they were charging him for it, like even for the lights to replace them, that you had to pay for them.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, I heard to get the new. So one thing I thought was kind of messed up. They said that for all the people that have these old messed up panels, they can choose to pay to upgrade them to the new panels, but they won't send them the new panels to replace them, even though the old ones technically were defective. They're not calling them defective. They're just saying, yeah, we'll upgrade you for a fee.
So we were talking about the RX-7 from Roadrunner and their fabulous customer service.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
Uh,
There's quite a bit
yeah.
to talk about on that, isn't there?
Well, I'll tell you what. As you know, I thought about this the whole time. The first time I started seeing they were having problem with these panels, and I'm like, the panels are the defining feature of the scooter. Like, it's a
Yeah.
nice scooter. It's got nice specs and everything, but
Oh,
those
it's
panels
beautiful.
makes it look like different than any other scooter out there. And so I feel like they probably leveraged themselves pretty heavily into this, like, I mean, biggest scooter they've ever made. You know, most, you know, it's just like their ultimate scooter, and then it tanks because this flaw. You know, I know everybody was thinking the same thing. Like, wait a minute, you know, I'm not gonna. I'd rather have no panels than have them look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, but
Yeah,
I
that
think
is
without the
pretty
panels,
crazy.
I think it would have made a big difference if they didn't include it.
Yeah, I think it would have. I think they also could have lowered the price down a bit, because right now they had it, or they have it priced at 4,000 or 4,100, something like that. And I remember Dale, which he's the owner of Roadrunner, he wanted to put it at like 4,800. So I
Oh,
feel like 48 is way too much for it.
nah, yeah, that's
I
way
mean,
too
it's a
much.
nice scooter. It's really nicely designed. It's huge compared to the RS for sure.
wow.
But those panel thingies, the display that they put on it, which looks really cheap, like it's just something that left like, how do I call it? He made promises he wasn't able to keep. Let's just put it that way.
Sure.
And he says he's gonna do it, and he's gonna be sending displays out, but he still hasn't shown what it looks like, other than just that nice digital video they made, like computerized, showing the really nice displays with the nice gauges and everything. But I don't know how he's gonna really make that happen and still keep the price the same.
I mean, my thing is this: like they know the issues. I'm happy they're at least trying to make some changes to it. That's I'll give them that. But these issues been here for like a while now. Like people are still waiting for them to be resolved.
Yeah,
That's my thing with it. The biggest thing that I love about the RX-7 is honestly is the removable battery
yeah,
because that's an option that not a lot of other scooters offer. And you know, if something happens with the battery, at least you know you can replace it just by swapping it out. It's simple. Just take it out, put another
yeah,
one in, and you're good to go. You know. Now, as for other scooters, I will have to probably take it to a shop.
yeah. That
So
is
that's
very true.
my
Like, unless you're
yeah
used
that
to working on it, then that's another story.
yeah man, and that's the thing. Like you know, you're one of those people that actually you know work on scooters, have experience on it, and you even found ways to you know make upgrades to the scooters that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
So hmm
You're like the mod
uh
king. You
yeah, the
mod
mod
everything. Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah
Oh,
You
I keep
mod
telling
everything.
everybody that all of my stuff that I do is beta test, man, because at
Yeah.
any moment it can fail me. Works out, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. That's
How do
awesome.
you guys feel about the solar Hyperion?
Dude, I think it's really nice. I actually like it. I kind of wish that they offered a slightly different design of the deck, because it kind of feels like they just grabbed a big metal box and they just welded on some swing arms to them. And so it's weird because we have a solar here, but well, my son has one. He has a solar EQ, and that one is nicely designed. Like the edges of the deck are rounded, they're not squared off. And on this Hyperion, it just looks like a square box. That they just said, let's see what size battery we can put on this, and then work around
Build
that
around it. Yeah.
instead of trying to like design it from the ground up. But it looks nice, dude, and the display looks really nice. The fact that you can pair your phone with it through GPS, kind of like Android Auto, Apple CarPlay type deal, where you can actually get GPS like navigation directions on the display. That's pretty rad, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I
That's
super
heard they're
awesome.
awesome.
trying to update the controllers to them
Yeah.
to make it faster, I believe,
Uh,
or longer
yeah,
or
I
something
believe
like that
so,
with the
because
distance.
I forgot where it tops out at.
I think I heard they had like I think it's traction control that it messes with the top speed of it.
I think it's just the
So
acceleration.
depending on the surface you
I think once you
oh,
get
the
going,
acceleration.
yeah, I think once you get going, it's okay. But like up to 30, because I guess you're probably the wheels are trying to spin faster. Depending, you're trying to accelerate full speed. So the 0 to 20, 0 to 30 isn't quite so spectacular.
Mm. Mm.
But I'll tell you this, it's a super
Well,
good price. It's a really good price for the
Dude, it is
for what
priced
it is.
very well for
Yeah,
what
no
it
kidding.
does. Like 72 volts, 40 amp hour batteries under like $3,500.
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
that's insane.
Right now it's 32. They have that discount on there as well.
Oh, dude,
So
even better.
exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a nice scooter to go well with. Yeah. That's a nice scooter to go with. I have to keep taking off these headphones.
Yeah.
I have like a 1 second delay on the device that I'm using, so I'm so sorry guys if I keep stuttering. So what I'm gonna try to
No,
do
it's
is gonna
okay.
look funny. I'm gonna keep like removing the headphones from my ears every time I talk, and then put them back on when I'm not talking, so I can hear you guys.
Man. So my thing is this. I was looking because I know electric scooter guy is gonna probably buy a scooter during the spring season, and I'm trying to buy one also. And there's a lot of models that are coming out. I was really looking at the Teveron until I saw that it had stability issues. The videos of them, they scared me. Cause
Yeah.
depending, like, some people going 50 or something, you get a death wobble. And it's like it's already has two steering dampeners. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I
You know?
honestly think that it's the 13-inch tires. The one I'm interested in Teveron also. I actually like the Teveron Fighter Supreme Ultra, and that one
Hmm.
has a 72 volt 60 amp hour battery like the 7260R, but it has 11-inch tires like the RS. So it's smaller, it's more stable. It does have a steering damper, but just one. And I've seen on videos so far that no one has had any issues with that one. No speed wobble issues or like sine wave controller problems, no motor problems. So it sounds pretty reliable. But the problem is that the people that I've watched online, they're all out of the US, like Italy and things like that. So there's a humongous language
Yeah.
barrier between the guys that I'm subscribed to following them because of that Teveron Fighter Supreme Ultra. And they're able to answer some of my questions and some they can. So they apologize and they say, sorry, my English is bad. I'm like, no, dude, you're fine. Like I should probably learn to speak Italian. but but yeah, dude, it's a really nice scooter. So I think from the Teveron line, the Ultra model I would probably go for over the regular bigger 7260R because I feel like those 13-inch tires are just probably not the best. And the fact that I got speed wobbles on the Dualtron X Limited with the same 13-inch tires, like it's probably the tires, man. It
Well,
has to
I'll
be
tell you those
some issue with it.
that
Because
new
for some reason with 11-inch tires, there's no issues, but with 13s, I don't know what's going on with that.
the new eMove has 13.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the concerning part for
I
me.
was like, man, those are big. They are big.
That's the reason why I said that I want to test it out and see how it does. And if I feel like it does speed wobbles as well, I'm like, nope. I'll just go with the
Ah,
Teveron instead. Because the Teveron is priced at
yeah.
about 4 grand as well. But it has a 72 volt, 60 amp hour battery. So I'm gonna get way more range on that thing than on the RS right now.
One thing about the Hyperion, it's supposed to be really stable, super stable at high speeds. So that's
Yeah.
uh that's one really big qualities that I like about that one. Like I said, for the money, but and yeah, I know we kind of moved on, but since you mentioned stability, I just kind of wanted to point back to that. I'm probably really
Oh,
gonna
that's
wait for
good.
that.
Stability is good to talk about.
I'm probably really gonna wait for the new E move, to make a decision. I'm super excited about that scooter if they get it under 4K.
My question real quick for the Terror Run, the Supreme Fighter, the 760R, isn't it like one of the highest scooter with range?
Um, Not necessarily. It has, well, it's supposed to be for the 72-volt system, but they also did that with the Ultra model. So they're kind of both in the same thing, but at the same time, you just pick which one you want, either the one with the larger size tires or the one that kind of looks like the RS frame wise. But they both
Mm.
have the same battery.
So both the same battery.
Hmm. Except that the one with the 13-inch tires is called the 7260R, and the other
Mhm.
one is called the Ultra 7260. So it's a little confusing because they both have the Fighter Supreme name,
Yeah,
right? That's
every
weird. I don't know why
GTR
Timberland.
Fighter Supreme.
Yeah, why couldn't they change the names?
Yeah, right. Thunder one, two, three, four. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can kind of get confusing when you look at it. It's like, wait a minute, you know?
Just like the Duotron, they have the X, the X2, and then the X Limited. So the X Limited is supposed to be the flagship
Yeah.
of like the X line, and then the Thunder 3 that just came out, that one's supposed to be the flagship of the Thunder line.
Yeah, the X Limited that has a huge. I know you said you're going to do a range test.
Yeah, dude,
I don't.
it
I think
only
it's going to take you a
boasts
few days.
60
I don't know
amp.
if you're going to be able to just ride around for that long on a
Dude,
scooter.
I'm probably gonna have to stop somewhere for lunch, and
Oh
then
man.
when I'm done, continue going, dude.
Oh my gosh. I can imagine.
Oh my God.
Or do what I did with the
Uh,
RS, do split it in 2 days.
No kidding.
Because that's what I had to do.
Yeah.
I
No
had to
kidding.
split the range in 2 days.
Jeez.
Now, real quick, I want to ask about a company that's been like making real updates, but they've been quiet. Yumi, what's going on with them?
Oh, the Yumi brand. Yeah, dude. I actually got to see one of their scooters at a group ride, and they look really nice in person. Very heavy duty build, and it looks like very well made. And the guy that I was able to talk to that actually owned it, he said that he had a small issue with the motor, and quickly, dude, Yumi customer service got up on it and they sent them a replacement right away. Like,
That's
no
what we want to
hassle.
hear.
Yeah, zero hassle. So I was surprised about that because when you contact other people, even Bowler Motors, you have to go through a process. Like they try to do troubleshooting stuff that you already said, I've already did this. It's not working. What else can we do? Like they still try to like make you do it all over again just to try to see if they can avoid sending anything.
I agree.
Almost every place is guilty of
I
this.
completely
But for,
agree.
yeah, but for some reason, this guy, when he told me about that with Yume, I was really surprised.
Wow.
So it seems like these guys don't want to stain their names. They like want to make sure that people know that they make high quality scooters and they're priced pretty well too for their performance.
Yeah.
I guess it's because they're not that
Yeah,
well known.
and they're really low key, but they've been steadily making improvements on like all of their scooters. Like you have just been seeing like just gradual improvements in build quality. Of course with the batteries and stuff like that and the rotors and stuff. But like I've been really surprised. I was looking at the Predator also, and I was just like, wow, this is a really dope scooter that people
Mhm.
don't really talk about.
Yeah, that's a really nice scooter too.
Most Yumi owners that I
Mhm.
see like their scooters. Most of the stuff that I see, they really they seem to stick by them. You know, kind of like I feel like the old Cabo people that stuck with Cabo this whole time. I feel like the Yumi squad is kind of like their own little group. They seem to be pretty happy with them in general. So I know every scooter has problems, and every scooter company has some problems, at least from what I've seen in my own personal experience. What do you guys think about Fluid Free Rides going out of business?
It's pretty sad because
Shocking.
I heard that like they had some of the best customer service. I know
Yeah,
that, for example, who are these guys again? It's another dealer. Just forgot their name right now. It's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. It's I think Wired Rides also.
Okay.
Yeah, Wired Rides also has really good customer service, and not that many people talk about them because not that many people know of their stores.
Yeah,
So it's
they're
pretty
not
crazy.
big.
But yeah, with Fluid Free Rides,
yeah.
dude, that's nuts.
See, I'm still under warranty, so I got my Klima only a few months ago from Fluid, and so and I had problems. You know, I'll be honest, right out of the gate, my brakes didn't really work. The brake light stayed on regardless, because of the sensor, the electronic brake sensors weren't making a good connection in the brake lever. And then the left rear brake actually leaked all the hydraulic fluid out, and I had no pressure in my rear brake. So I ended up having to replace my brakes before I could even ride it on my new Klima. But
Wow.
I did not have good experience. And I mean, it wasn't like terrible customer service. It's just like it took me a full day every time to get a response. So I reached out and said it'll be 24 hours before I got a response. Initially, I was like, okay, fine. But then I thought it would be like back and forth rather than, every 24 hours I would get a response. So it was taking me a really long time to get to a resolution. And the same thing, they wanted videos and so forth. And while I'm trying to get this, and still only getting a response every 24 hours. So that was pretty frustrating. It took me a couple of weeks to finally get my scooter running after I got it.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Mhm.
Like, have you been able to
How you
talk
guys
to
feel
them to
about
find
Apollo?
out what happened?
No, real quick. With electric scooter. What your question? Average guy, go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I was
Um,
going to another topic.
oh okay. Yeah, well, I was wondering if you've been able to find out any info from them, like how your warranty is going to work if they go out of business. Like, is your warranty going to just be voided, or are they going to be redirecting you to to Nami Direct,
I've
or how
already,
would that work?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think they're going to support. They're going to support that once they're out. I mean, I don't think they'd support it right now. If I contact
Yeah.
them, I think they're not restocking parts. You know, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna restock scooters because they don't have a future past a month or so, unless they get bought out. So, that my warranty is pretty much done. I could say only because having dealt with my problems that I dealt with, I reached out to Michael Shaw. I knew he was sort of open to talk to people, so I went ahead and found his email and reached out to him, and he helped me find the problem, which is how I was able to get the new brakes from Fluid. But initially, he recommended to send me new brake cables, but he's going to charge me $50 for shipping. And I thought, I just got this brand new scooter in here that you sent out that didn't that didn't have the correct brakes, and you're going to charge me fifty
$50 for
dollars
shipping?
to send me new
Yeah, that's
cables
pretty
from
expensive.
China. You
Come
know,
on.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not paying $50 for you to send me brakes on a scooter
What?
that you put out that was defective.
Yeah.
I wonder if the people that have cabos are running into the same issues as you.
You know what? That's a good question. I wish we had somebody that owns one and what their thoughts on it.
Did you say
Yeah,
that?
because now what?
I was just leading up to some. So did you say that Voro may buy out Nami or something similar to that?
Oh, they're supposed to form a partnership
Okay,
where they're going to become an authorized dealer for them.
perfect.
So basically, they let go of Duotron and they let go of Cabo,
Okay,
but they're replacing them with Teveron and Nami.
I like that.
So that's pretty cool.
I need that. Actually, honestly,
Yeah.
there's no U.S. suppliers for me to go to for parts now. Even once my warranty is up. Michael Shaw did say on the NAMI boards that he would honor, because I posted about it. I made a post, and he said on the NAMI boards that he would honor that warranty. But once again, I know it's going to come with high shipping because he's sending it
Yeah,
from
'cause it's
China,
very
and he's
shipping
gonna,
from-
yeah. So it's I'll be lucky. Hopefully, I don't have any more problems. Within my warranty period. So
Yeah, that would be
I
crazy.
mean that makes of Nami and Terra Run together makes me a little bit happy, because getting parts over here, especially from China, is difficult.
Yeah, it is. It takes too much time. And not
Yeah.
only that, but like the shipping cost is ridiculous.
And also for me, unfortunately, I don't have a like uh, a good reputable scooter shop around me. I actually, unfortunately, I have to go to New York City and try to find one of their shops to go get parts fixed. And I dealt with that issue because with my scooter, I had a no-name brand. It was from China. To get parts fixed for it, I'm still waiting for it, and it's been 3 months.
Oh
So
wow.
it's difficult. Now, like that's why I said like I'm kind of leaning toward the U.S. market, and I'm really focused on the longevity of a scooter because there's no reason that if I buy a scooter, it should have issues even at 200, 500 miles.
Good luck.
Yeah, yeah, seriously, especially with that. That's really something, man. Yeah, I know that there is another scooter store. They're called Alien Reds. They have a decent reputation, but I was surprised to hear that they're offering a 2-year warranty if you buy an InMotion RS from them. So
Wow.
that's shocking because I bought mine from Vora Motors
Wow.
and my warranty's already expired
Yeah.
because it's already been a year.
Wow.
So to have 2 years of
Wow.
coverage for the same price, it's like amazing. That's really good customer service to me.
What's your opinion of the RS? I know you like it, but I mean, you've had like a year now, and I know you've been with your ups and downs. I mean, what's your overall just kind of take on the scooter?
On the RS, I still like it a lot. It's still my preferred scooter of choice from all the ones that I have because it has the power to take me everywhere, man. That thing takes me to work.
Yeah.
So I work the night shift. I work for a window manufacturing company, and I'm a supervisor there. So for me, like I can park the RS inside, so I'm lucky about that.
Nice.
I don't have to leave it outside. But I do have to put it like at the corner of the shop or the warehouse. So I can't plug it into charge, but I don't really need to because my trips are only like 8.5 miles from my house to the company, and
Nice.
then the same thing back. What does waste a little bit of battery is like going up the hills on the way back home and going down hills on the way to work. So
Wow.
it's kind of weird, but I do like it. I feel like for me, if I had to give it a grade or a number grade from a scale of 1 where the 1 is bad and 10 is really good, it's like an 8. Because since I had to replace the sine wave controllers, that was pretty crappy. It turns out that the central controller I replaced was actually still good. The problem was the actual sine wave controller. So thankfully, I have my original sine wave controller, not sine wave controller, the central controller that I can still use, and in case something goes wrong. So since I'm out of warranty, I'm kind of lucky to have that used spare parts. But I also had to change out the motors. The motors were covered under Vora Motors because the plugs were kind of like melting and they were seizing up together. So when that would happen and you try to take them apart, the pins would come apart as well with the wires dangling inside. So
Wow.
that was an issue for the
Wow.
RS. But now that I changed them, I haven't been having that problem. And I feel that the issue as to why those wires burned out too, like so much easier, was because of the region braking that it has or the electronic braking. From the factory, it comes at 50%. So what I did this time with the new motors, I dropped it down to 0. And since I've dropped it down to 0, I haven't had any issues with it. So I feel that since the sine wave controllers are forcing like negative energy into the motor, it's causing the wire to get hot by it trying to like, oh, sorry about
Mm.
that, by it trying to like give energy back into the motor to get it to slow down without you having to use your brake levers. So I think that it's still a good scooter, but it's not an easy scooter to work on. I do feel that it's really sensitive. So if you plug anything aftermarket to it, like I did with those lights, you can easily burn something out. So everything that you might want to do aftermarket, you might have to find a different way to power it with like external batteries, like what I had to do. But overall, I do like the RS. I think it's like my favorite scooter out of all the ones that I have. At least up until another one ends up popping up that I might end up liking. But for right now, the RS is still my favorite right now.
Even though you've had to rebuild it from the ground up, pretty much. you know,
Pretty much.
yeah,
The only thing I haven't had to replace is the frame. Literally,
I know.
frame is the only thing I haven't had to change. So it's crazy. So even bleeding the bricks is messy. You really do need like a friend with you to be able to bleed the brakes because you have to take off the caliper, and then on one side of the caliper it has a little bleeding screw, and you have to attach like something to it. And the same thing for the top. The brake handle has to be levered up straight, and then you can unscrew the little screw that you have to plug in like another adapter to be able to bleed it. So it's pretty crazy.
Quick question for you. How has it been dealing with the customer service of the RS for my motion? You know.
From InMotion, it was pretty poor, but from Vora Motors, it was pretty decent. The reason why I say decent
Mm.
is because they still have to get the parts from InMotion if they don't have them in stock, and they do all the work for you. So you let them know what happens with the scooter, what's going on with it, and then they basically try to troubleshoot it and then give that information to InMotion to get the parts replaced. And the reason why it takes a little bit of time is because they have to request it from InMotion. InMotion then has to ship it to Vora Motors, and then Vora Motors ships it to you. Bad thing about that is that they can't test out the parts. So there's a possibility that you might get a defective part, like that's supposed to be a warranty replacement. And then you have to go
Well,
through the whole process all over again.
yeah, because you're depending on so many connections in the chain to, to finally get somewhere. It's really inefficient. What do you guys think
Yeah.
about Paul leaving Electric Scooter Guide?
That came
Oh
as a
man.
shock to me, but I hope that he continues to maybe make another channel of that unless he wants to give up on it.
He did.
'Cause
That's how I found out. I was asking if he was gonna. He did a channel, Electric Scooter Juice, and he put one video up, and so I went to and watched the video. Then he didn't put a video out for a while. So I asked him. I said, "Are you going to put another video out?" And he said, "I've left ESG. I'm not going to. He's like, I'm moving in a different direction, and he's going to be the work over in run social media over for VMAX. So he's now over at VMAX running social media."
Yeah. No,
nice.
he was at a CES in the booth of VMAX actually.
Yep.
So I guess he's working with them. I mean, it's sad to see him go because I
It
used to see
is
him all the time
because he's a great
doing
friend.
video reviews.
He's a great friend, and the only time we got to meet in person was actually at that Writer Fest event. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be pretty crazy to not be able to see him often because he's in San Francisco, which is like 6 hours away from me.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're pretty far from each other. But I hope that things work out for him. Obviously, I'm gonna still watch his videos and everything. So we'll see how things
Mhm.
go over at VMAX.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people that are leaving companies, man. Like one thing that I didn't know, the head tech from Vora Motors in Panorama City, which is the main headquarters, he left the Vora Motors like I guess warehouse, and he was the head tech.
Wow.
So he was the main guy there that did all the repairs. They had a lot of experience on different brands of scooters, and he left.
Wow.
So I don't know
Wow.
what happened to him or what went on, but I don't know who's now repairing scooters there. But since I repair my own, it's not a big issue. But for everybody else, like that has to take their scooters there, like I wonder how much longer it's gonna take now to repair,
All right.
depending on
Well,
the
well,
who
listen.
took over.
I think you should let them know that you do mods. So Voro Motors, you do mods.
Oh, they
They
know
need
already.
somebody.
Yeah.
They know already. I mean, I had Yogi Steve come over here to my house so I can change out a tire for him for his RS.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to have him over here.
I already
Very-
knew when I started getting in. I was like, I watched the video. I was like, I'm going to have to learn to work on scooters. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
If I get one, I'm going to have to become
That ends up happening
a
because
scooter
it
mechanic.
depends where you live and how close your dealer is to you. That's one of the reasons why I went with Vora Motors because they pretty much have everything in shop. So like it's not just a store. Right behind the store, they have a repair center. So if you need anything done, you can go to them and have it done. Yeah, it's gonna cost you some money because your parts may be free for warranty, but the labor's not.
Yeah.
But like I think it's a good idea that they have that. Only thing that I see bad is that they like their store keeps getting broken into, and it's getting Melvin, the owner, pretty irritated with that, and he's already thinking about moving from California to Texas,
Oh,
Austin, Texas. If I'm correct.
interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how things are going to work out over there if he does, but that would suck for me because I've been able to review a lot of their scooters because I drive over there to Vora Motors
Yeah.
and take my camera gear out and everything, and I start recording and I ask questions and I get answers on the spot, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, I will tell you, people still break into stuff in Texas. I'll just be honest. Like, I'm from Dallas, so I mean, I don't live in Dallas now. I'm actually in Oklahoma, a couple hours away from Dallas. But yeah, he's not going to escape people breaking into his building because he moves to Texas. But there are some benefits. Real estate is a lot better and cheaper in Texas than California. California is pretty expensive relatively.
It's expensive here, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
I think
There's
with
no
the
doubt about
taxes
that.
it'll be a little bit cheaper. But if he ever needs help with anything, and that kind of nature with security, tell him give me a call.
Yeah.
I might be able to help him out with that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
If he
needs to
sees my
hire somebody
Instagram,
to
he'll
be there
see
at
that
night.
I'm serious. Huh?
Yeah, he needs to hire somebody to be there at night so that this
Well,
way
tell him,
the store
listen.
doesn't get broken into, right?
Tell him to check my profile out on Instagram. He'll be in very good hands.
Nice.
Man. My question is this also. What do you guys think about the Apollo?
Dude, I think Apollos are pretty nice. I actually got to test ride the Apollo Pro and the Apollo what was this other one? Phantom. And the Pro felt nice, dude. I really liked it. The only thing that I didn't like about the scooter was just the battery. It's like 60 volts, 30 amps. So
Yeah.
that lighting it has and the motors and the regen braking thing, it's just not enough like to keep the battery well charged. And it has a good weight limit for like a rider. I think it's 330 or something like that, 330 pounds. But
Mhm.
like the range you're gonna get out of that thing is not gonna be that great, especially if you have like the swag lights on it.
I think they're a
So
little overpriced in general.
yeah, in a way,
Yeah, I think they're overpriced.
like I like the design, but I feel like that Apollo Pro should have hydraulic brakes and not drum brakes because it has drum brakes for the front and the rear.
The new
That's
Phantom,
really concerning.
the new Phantom Stellar has dual hydraulics. Finally,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's because they did hear people's concerns about it, but I don't know just how much higher they're going to price it just
It's-
because they
it-
added that.
3,500. I think
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know.
For that, yeah, that's a lot. I mean, don't
I
get me
agree.
wrong, they design stuff really well,
Yeah,
so they make them look high end.
yeah,
But yeah, the pricing, dude.
yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure people are still gonna buy, but not that many. I enjoyed
Woo!
this very much.
Hey, thank you,
and
guys.
If we do this again, it would be cool. Maybe we can get somebody else in here as
Absolutely.
well that might have like a different kind of scooter, like someone that owns a Cabo. I
Sure.
want to get their opinion on everything that's going on with Cabo on the next video, man.
Sure, absolutely.
But it'd be nice to do it, man.
Thank you guys. Hey, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down. Huge shout out to the average guy, 1983. Thanks to you guys and Tiger GRM Tac. Thanks to you guys for hanging out with me today. Thanks for allowing me to do this and make these offer you guys this video. So just want to express my gratitude and express how much fun I had today. And hopefully we can all jump on really soon and do it again. Thanks again, guys. If you found this content enjoyable or you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider joining my Patreon, buy me a coffee, or picking up some merch. Thanks, and happy riding.